So you're looking through a sextant at things through the sextant. Which one of these represents that, first of all?
Your sight to the star would be line B.
Line B. Okay.
Yes.
And where's the horizon?
The horizon's not in the diagram.
You know how a sextant works?
Yeah.
What do you look at in a sextant?
Well, you look at a celestial object. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Now, the way that you operate the sextant is you start off by looking up at a celestial object, perhaps the sun. So you're looking up. Then you pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon, you don't need a horizon for a sextant.
You unlock this door with the key of
retardation.
Beyond it is another dimension. You're moving into a land of
bullshittery.
You've just crossed over into
the Numpty zone.
You are so dumb. Damn.
Don't need. You sound a little bit quivery in your voice there, Bob. You don't need the horizon.
Of course not.
Say what? Are you high right now?
What the hell did you just say?
You don't need the horizon.
Of course not. Pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon,
you don't need the horizon.
Of course not. Now what'll happen is you'll bring the sun down to the horizon.
You're just being asked, do you know what dip correction is? If you don't, that's fine. Just say no. If you do, just tell us what dip correction is, Bob.
Dip correction is related to the angle formed between your horizontal and the horizon as you look down from an elevated height. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon, you don't need a horizon for a sextant. Your HS is your angle, is your altitude from the celestial object to the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Now what'll happen is you'll bring the sun down to the horizon.
Is that what you're stating the horizon dip correction is?
Well, you look up to the celestial object and down to the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Well, you look up to the celestial object. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. And down to the horizon. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
Everyone stop. Just want to clarify what he said. So you're saying that when you use the sextant, it's literally pointed downwards towards the lower horizon on your sphere. I'm not going to try and get you in a gotcha. I'm just clarifying your position, Bob.
That's absolutely correct, Nathan.
Fine.
You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Now what'll happen is you'll bring the sun down to the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant.
Go ahead, Tenth.
He said he doesn't use the horizon. I want him to affirm that.
Yes. Now the way that you operate the sextant is you start off by looking up at a celestial object, perhaps the sun. So you're looking up. Then you pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
Oh, son of a... That's going to leave a mark.
Your HS is your angle, is your altitude from the celestial object to the horizon. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no. Your HS is your angle, is your altitude from the celestial object to the horizon. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no. Now the way that you operate the sextant is you start off by looking up at a celestial object, perhaps the sun. So you're looking up. Pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no. Now what'll happen is you'll bring the sun down to the horizon. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no. Until the very lower limb of the sun, the bottom edge of the sun, is just touching the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. And then what you do is you rock it back and forth a little bit to make sure that you are at the bottom of the swing so that the sun is literally just touching the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. And then you read off your angle. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
Turn out the lights.
Double speaking, Tender Clown Face Podcast.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end.
Ballers scattered on dawn's highway bleeding. Fallacies and refravity crowd their fragile eggshell minds.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. The bird's a winner.
You're a clown. Bird is a word. Hey, what's going on out there, guys? Welcome to the show. Got a good one lined up for you today. Hopefully. As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Speaking of beautiful old birds, I wonder if Betty's out there. Hey, Betty.
Old birds? That doesn't sound well.
Yeah.
Sounds good,
Funny.
right? What's that?
It was just impromptu. I'm just making it up as I go.
Yeah, well, being very on difficult territory, right? Like a minefield.
Yeah, it was sort of a shit sandwich because I gave you beautiful and then old bird. So
Yeah. Thanks. Well, I do have to say that some women do age well. Right? That's better than others, right?
Yeah, generally, no.
Generally, no. Unbelievable.
No. Who we got in Discord, girl? The Adam Meekin's in here. Look at that.
Yeah, the one that ages well.
Yeah, he is. I know he's about ready to speak and come off mute, but his second grandmother's mother-in-law from his the three previous marriages didn't have a birthday today or something, right, Adam?
Jeez.
I am devoid of family events currently. So just the question tonight then: the bird that is the word, is that bird a rubber ducky tonight?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Cool. You're not comparing me to a rubber ducky, are you?
It's better than an old bird, but no, I wasn't referring to you anyway. But
no, but I mean Kiwi in his mind. You know how that goes.
Yeah. Well, it's what Adam, you did a boo-boo. It's not just rubber ducky left on its own. You have to say rubber ducky life preserver. Remember, you were schooled.
he's not in chat yet. He's not heard.
You get over it. Yeah, very true. Yeah, it's good to be back. I'm pretty good to go. Go ahead, Betty. You wanted to say something?
You got a super chat already.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
there's no message attached to it, but it's from Rich P.
Hey, thanks, Rich.
Yeah.
You don't know how bad. He doesn't know how bad I need that right now. Yeah. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate that, sir. Thanks for that echo, Betty. Love you.
Yeah. Is it me, or are you all a little bit roboty? Is it me?
I think it's you.
Maybe I should go out and go back in, see what happens.
Okay. We miss you already. We're just waiting on Betty, folks. Just relax. We'll get there. And she's back. Radio check. Lost 1. This is lost 3. Or you lost 2 over.
Absolutely. Without a sextant, absolutely.
It's good to have you back. You were gone for so long.
Oh, did you miss me?
Yeah, I did. And I'm still getting the echo, so welcome back.
Oh. Yeah, well, I go on mute then.
No, you don't have to go on mute. You just have to go on mute when you're not talking.
Which is all of the time.
Exactly. So that means you're not going on mute.
No, I am not talking all of the time, so I am on mute. Right?
Generally, but maybe not.
I might have to do something with the region of this Discord chat, but it might be the region.
Where are you at now?
I don't know. Maybe let me see. I need to go into this.
I checked
go
it one.
on with the show because don't let me hold you back.
I checked it one time. We were in East Africa, and I was going red, yellow, orange, red, yellow, orange.
This is U.S. South. Usually we are not on U.S. South.
Where are you usually at?
West or middle, central.
You gonna go on the roulette wheel and change it right now? Yeah, you did. I just went off, right?
Is this better?
I don't know, but I seen
shop, right? This is not good.
I know that you did it. I know that you did it because my readings went from green to 0.
Still?
No, we're good. We should be good out there. Guys, are you hearing us well out there in chat? Let me check chat before I ask.
Absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
Not you. I'm talking about the people out there in YouTube land. Yep. You guys hearing us okay? Just give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Just give us something.
Give us something.
Yeah. Get off the topic that you're discussing out there, like Mexican hairless dogs or something, and just give us a yo. You're good.
Yeah.
Damn, we got a whole bunch of viewers in here. Like I believe the viewer count, but it's more than usual. Are you guys interested in this little rubber ducky life preserver, perhaps?
Well, it's summer and people want to go for a dip in the water.
Hey, thanks, Divergent Droid. Appreciate that. Yeah, a dip in the water. You can't even go to the swimming pool out here. It's a friggin'
wow, evaporated.
Yeah, it's a blast. It's a blast furnace. I'll tell you what. Yesterday was the hottest day by far. By far. My wife said she went out to the car and the car read 107.
107.
107 degrees.
Wow.
Hey, thanks, James. James, shout out, man. To all you Patreons that I forgot to shout out for the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to forget again.
Well, the last 2 years. I said almost. Jeez.
I'm going to just steal Chocolate's comment today on that, Johnny. He's boiling in it, right? But he did point out that in the heliocentric model, we're at our solar maximum distance right now. He says he never finds it gets warmer the further he goes away from his oven.
Is that what he said today? I missed that.
Yeah. There is the obvious example. I think if he tilted himself 23.5 degrees from his oven, he probably would be warmer.
I was watching the news last night because I always jump on there and watch the weather. You guys know that. So I'm watching it late last night and then going through the weather forecast. And it's like all this week is 96, 96, 90. Well, Wednesday, it's supposed to be a little cooler. But for the rest of the week, 96, 96, 96. That's degrees Fahrenheit, which is smoking hot, right? Add in humidity, look out. But anyway, he said at the end of the 96s, he goes, be careful next week. It's going to be a real scorcher. I'm sitting there, well, what the heck is the 96? Chop liver? It's going to get hotter next week. Look the heck out, man. We're done for here. We're just baked. My grass is like straw. It's just like blowing around in the wind, man. It's going to get bad here, dude. And more so, you freaking chiggers. The chiggers got me again. Right? They're nuclear chiggers. Listen, I've been bit by chiggers in Louisiana, in Georgia, not so much in Pennsylvania and northern regions. But northern Missouri, and yeah, they're painful. They'll wake you up because you're always itching. They drive you absolutely nuts. But down here in southern Missouri, home of the Missouri boat ride, these give you blisters. I can't believe it. There's something going on down here. There's some nuclear friggin' chiggers, and they're on me, man. I'm even in the grass. Now, I'm close to the wood line, but I'm even in the grass, and they still get me. You wouldn't believe it, man. I'm not going to show it because I want everyone to stay here for the show. But you wouldn't believe it. It's the second go-around. See, the first go-around, I thought it was poison ivy, and it gives you sort of blisters. Nope, wasn't poison ivy. It was friggin' chiggers. So, and one of those little suckers crawled up my leg and bit me right in the arse. That didn't give me a blister, thankfully. But the one on, I got another blister down on my leg.
They got some nerve.
They got some damn nerve, man. I'm going to take a flamethrower.
Chigger spray, mate.
I'm going to take a flamethrower down there.
That's what I think. Get the Rambo flamethrower and torch that place.
I'm telling you, man. It's horrible, man. I'm tired of it. And it's right on my archery range. So, well, it's my fault because I didn't put my Insecticide socks on the last time I went down there. Sunday, it cooled down a little bit on Saturday and Sunday. So I was shooting. I was down there all day mucking around. Sunday, it got a little hot. Yesterday, look out, I was down there, but I only spent like 5 minutes down there and came back up to the house. But let me tell you something, folks. I don't know what I'm gonna put the Insecticide socks to the test. Oh, by the way, Betty, you still there?
Yes.
Yeah, you remember we were talking about the Insecticide socks and the chemical permethrin?
Yes.
Yeah. See, and you said that it washes out.
Yeah.
See, we were talking about two different things. See, these socks have it embedded that is chemically bonded to the socks, but there's permethrin spray that you spray on your clothes that washes out after about 3 or 4 washes. Not these.
Okay.
So I was thinking about that. I wanted to clear that up. I know there was a lot of questions out there in YouTube land about that. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same sheet of music now. We are both correct.
Maybe, yeah. So maybe we were talking past each other because we might have read something different about this topic.
Yes.
Yes.
Didn't we agree we're just going to get lederhosen?
Yeah.
Those are too short.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because remember I popped up the rhino, the rhino clothing that they have that goes underneath and it's pretty protective. You can't do that in the summertime. You'll die. Because it's too hot. You can't be doing that.
I looked up at when I go abroad, I don't like using DEET and stuff, you know, like anti-mozzie sprays. I love essential oils because I did my elective in final year on it and stuff. So I always use like citronella, and I've just looked up what will keep chiggers away from a natural point. So you want to get a nice little spray bottle with water in, and then add some lavender, peppermint, tea tree, and citronella. That'll keep those little chiggers away. Spray your legs, and then you can wear. You don't have to wear out. Just spray your legs with that anti-chigger spray.
Nah, I'm gonna go with Cutter.
Napalm.
Yeah, I'm going with Cutter. I'm gonna spray my shoes down, and that is the first line of defense. And then the sock. I'm not going down there again without my Insecticide socks. That's what I'm gonna do next. So
bring a flamethrower and just incinerate the whole.
Yeah, I would do that if this was like anarchy. I would do that most certainly, but I can't do that in society here.
Your neighbor wouldn't like it.
Nope. I tell you what, the first thing that's going to go when it is anarchy has switched from the stoplights to the chiggers. I am going to flamethrow them. So it goes in this order. Flamethrow chiggers and then take out all the red lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the natural sort of enemy of those chiggers, huh?
I don't know. Remember we pulled them up that one day and took a look at them? They're like like creatures. They're like monsters, microscopic monsters.
Yeah, well, they are like family from the spiders. I've seen.
I don't know what they are, but I don't like them anymore.
Hold on, they're not arachnid.
They are.
Chiggers are arachnid?
Yeah, they have more paws than a normal. I think. I thought it was something that I read once about those. I mean, aren't they also related to the ticks and stuff? It's like the same.
I don't
same
know.
thing,
I haven't
right?
did any study on chiggers because I just don't like them.
You can't just deny them, not reading about them, and still, you get bit anyways.
They're
Don't
probably
deny them.
They got to be related to the tick family. That's definitely for sure.
Yeah, but they must have a natural enemy which you can sort of.
Go ahead, Adam. Adam, do they have a natural enemy?
Oh, I've looked it up for you. So I've got a suggestion. You should get a new pet. Pet salamander would eat it. So they share the same natural predators as other mites. So ants, centipedes, spiders, beetles, birds, lizards, and salamanders. So get yourself a little pet salamander. Let it loose in the garden. It'll eat them little chiggers.
There is some. I've seen a couple small little lizards down there too, so I guess they're eating them, but they're not eating the nuclear ones that are. Listen, like I told you, I had chiggers in Louisiana, in Georgia, northern Missouri. They'll drive you nuts, right? But none that produce these friggin' blisters. If I show you, I'd lose half the audience. You'd be like,
They're like miracle.
So what I got?
You haven't been much outside in the last couple of years, so you might not have encountered them.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, that means that you said, well, I've never seen them, but that's not true.
I didn't say I never. That's not what I said. I didn't say I never seen them. I didn't. Those words never came out of my mouth.
But from a distance.
I said the nuclear ones.
Yeah. Well, the nuclear ones are the ones that you don't see, I suppose.
Yeah, they must. I don't know. They're infused with something, but that's all. It's really, really terrible. My wife had to do.
2 nights, right? It's not like you're like all over the place, like bitten.
No, they did. One did bite me right in the arse. I'll tell you what, that really chaps my arse.
Well, at least to get you off your behind.
Yeah, but it's problematic because if you want to put any medicine on it, right? You can do it, but you have to let it dry. Even then, anytime you sit down, shut up.
I got the picture.
It's you just don't want to know. But these my wife
apply it maybe because that's
no,
you can't see where it is at exactly.
So we don't want to see where it is at exactly. It's in the soft spot.
Yeah, nice for your spouse to get that done, huh?
Yeah, I had to have her. I said, honey, you're the only one that can see this. Just
I may see this.
That may see this, yeah. I said, just make sure it's not a tick. Come here and take a look at my arse.
Red meat was like done for, huh?
Yeah. You got to make sure. Yeah, but see, the ticks are a little bit bigger, and they have a larger footprint. And whenever I've had ticks on me before, even down there. I told you they got the Rocky Mountain. They don't have the Rocky Mountain. They got the Lone Star tick down there. I already showed you a couple pictures now. But when they get on you, I can feel them. Chiggers, you're not feeling these chiggers. That's the problem. Here's a good one. I'm not going to show you a chigger. I'm going to show you. Oh, I can't because I can't do that. I'm not going to show it. Everyone knows. Let's get off the chiggers because it's really depressing. I know I brought it up. I'm sorry, folks, but it's really.
Nobody's talking about it but you.
It's really grinding on me. So let's finish it up. My wife had to do surgery again. So we had, you got to pop. The blister is so. It's so tight, it hurts. Not the blister, but it pulls the skin, right? So she had to do, this is the second time she had to do surgery. So you know what we do, you got to pop the blister. So I pop many blisters. You got to be careful out there. Make sure you pop the blisters appropriately or you can get infection. So what we do is we fire up the edge of the pen, right? And sometimes if you use a lighter, it'd be better if I had a torch. If you use a lighter, you get the black stuff all over it. You don't really want that. But I don't have a torch laying around, so we use the lighter. And then what you get is you get 91% isopropyl alcohol, and you dip the end in there. So I pulled off a lot of that charcoal off the pen, and then I gave it to my wife, and I said, be gentle. And I said, you got something for the pain?
I don't get it. Why don't you put that hot poker like pin in there immediately?
Well, yeah, you got to do that so you can drain the blister.
Yeah. I mean, but then you're gonna cool it off with alcohol.
No, it's not cooled off. The alcohol. Boy, you're kind of dizzy today, aren't you?
Dizzy. I don't get it. I mean,
okay. See, you don't put alcohol on the blister. You put it on the pen.
I know. I am not daft.
Okay.
But you already like disinfected it with hotness, like with fire.
Yeah,
right?
but it's just the.
And if you keep the pin not in the flame, but a little bit higher up where it's the hottest, by the way.
Yeah.
There is no like soot that it's, and otherwise you can wipe it on a piece of gauze or something.
Yeah, so I dipped it in the isopropyl alcohol for about 30 seconds because isopropyl alcohol, 91%, it'll kill everything. So that's what it's used for. It's a disinfectant.
And you don't need to make it hot.
Yeah, but it's a shield. It's another shield. So I wiped it, I soaked it, and then all the stuff came off it anyway, so it's good. We're good.
I think.
All right. So chickens unite.
So what?
Chickers unite.
I thought you said chickens unite, you rooster booster.
No, I'm the Daffy Duck.
Oh, I got that thing still running. Sorry about that, guys. I was into the conversation. Chiggers is, I just get passionate about it because it really chaps my ass. So there you go. Let's roll with that. All right.
Totally,
now we're on the roll.
Totally chiggered out. But here's the thing. I just want to make a special shout out, and that's to your wife. From having listened to that story, respect to her. And she never knew that was coming when she took them vows, did she?
Yeah, we were talking about that last night. I said, yep, you signed up for this. And then I started going through the vows, and I said, oh, maybe not. And I said, oh, in sickness and in health, you're screwed.
For better, for worse, for sickness, and for health.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what happened yesterday, Adam. That's too funny.
Too funny. I can see you guys like going over the laws and stuff.
Yes, yes, we do. She's contractually obligated.
Yeah, you know that's also the other way around. You know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that you have to do the same for her.
Yeah, men don't need inviting to squeeze a woman's ass.
Jeez. No, looking at nasty stuff on certain places. That's what I mean, Adam.
Oh, you know what was really funny? I'll just tell everyone. Hold on, Betty.
That's so funny.
Jeez, oh man, I start talking. You started rumpus me right away.
Oh, yeah, there was there was a silence there.
Yeah, and I jumped right in it.
It was really funny, and then you just had to fill it in.
Okay, so, yeah, I'm gonna fill it in because they're gonna get a hoot out of this one. So,
oh, good.
Yeah, and it has you're involved. So these girls, for some strange reason, they love this Dr. Pimple Popper show, right? It's it's absolutely sickening. I can't stand the show. If I even see like previews of it, I just turn away, right? And Betty, she loves it. My wife loves it. And
my mom does.
Now wait a second, Betty. Now hold on. Just wait a second. My story's not done. Relax. So, you know it's bad when you show. I showed Betty. I took a picture of that blister, both of them, and I showed Betty, and she said, "Yikes!" You know it's bad then.
Yeah, but I did want to pop it.
Have you seen the picture, Betty?
Yeah, not of his horse.
But it is of his arse, isn't it? You might have to see the full hemisphere.
Oh, that you got her now.
Oh, my goodness. No. He had one on his ankle, right? And he thought it was poison ivy or poison oak, something like that. Remember?
Yep.
It was just a tiny spot, and then it turned out that was a chigger. Then.
So, is this chigger bite on Dr. Pimple Popper next week then?
No.
What?
No, I'm just saying so you guys can relate to what's happening here that there's some really sick stuff on that show. But when she's seen that blister, her reaction was yikes. So you got to know that it's pretty darn bad.
The thing is that I didn't expect a blister to be like that circular, like that spherical. It's usually like a heightened sort of fluidy like place, but this was like a total sphere almost. It's like nature is mocking with you.
Yeah, that's Betty got a kick out of that. She said nature was trolling me.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that it's good that women like that Dr. Pimple Popper, because that means that we have a sort of a caretaker's role in this. We like to take care of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's a nice story. You just are sick. You have a fetish of sickness.
Well, I know that my dad and my mom likes that show, and my dad, he says, "Oh, please don't all that nastiness." But then again, if you see what these people come in with, and when they go out, and it's like so much better for them, it's such a relief for these people. Then I think, yeah, I'm glad that these people get helped, right? So
yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with the actual. It's the sidebar. You're trying to, put lipstick on this. It ain't gonna work.
I'm a woman. I put lipstick on anything.
On anything
that I like.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
So we got a super chat from Tony Whitcomb, and he says, "If this is an open panel, check out the mantis shrimp or camel spider."
It's a camel spider, not a caramel spider.
Camel.
Yeah, camel spider. Yeah, I've seen those before. I don't know about the mantis. Oh, I've seen the mantis shrimp before. Yeah. Yeah, awesome killers. Hold up, Betty. Hold up, Betty. I'll take this one. Okay.
Oh, now you are.
Yeah. If this is an open panel, check out a mantis shrimp or camel spider. Awesome killers in the animal kingdom. Yep. I've seen them before.
I don't know camel spider. I know mantis shrimp, but what's special about a camel spider?
They're pretty insidious.
Is it just venom, or like mantis is like Sonic Boom, isn't it? Like Street Fighter. Sonic Boom.
I have no idea.
Knocks them out with a Sonic Boom.
So that camel spider, does it have humps on its back or something?
So look, I'm gonna have to get a picture of one of these things, right?
I suppose so. Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Never seen them. Are these poisonous too?
They're pretty nasty. I know they're nasty looking. I've seen them on a couple shows. Yeah, there's one.
I think you have one of the beautiful spiders with beautiful colors, right?
Of course, Google doesn't give pictures like they usually do. You have to. I hate this.
Usually you have to go to the site to see them.
Yeah, like you used to. So I'm just going to post it up. Heck with it. Not the site, but what I got. So you guys will be able to see it. So, yeah, camel spider. Little suckers.
Probably.
Let's see if we can't get
That's how
another. They're not too inviting.
Have you got them up on the channel already, or?
Yeah, I put a couple up. Yep.
Oh, because I got. Oh, now I can. Ah, yikes! Is it a large? What is that?
These are camel spiders, man.
All of them?
Yeah.
They got it. Yikes! And they're like in the defensive mode, aren't they?
Yeah. Look at those. Look at those eyes on the top. That's
And they have 8 of them.
That's peculiar.
8 eyes. Ugh.
Yeah, you could forget that. What the hell is that?
I see the spidery side, but I don't see the camel-y side. I'm expecting at least one hump.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Well, maybe it's the color of the spider.
I don't know. I don't know how we got to this twisted part, but I'm about out of this. I'm getting out of this. Let's get back to that. What it does remind me of, back in the day, a long time ago, I went into the Weekend Warriors just for a brief respite. I didn't want to have a break in service, so I got out of the military and went in the National Guard. And I had to do one of their 2-week extravaganzas before I went back in the military. Anyway, I went to, we were in the mountains in Virginia, and it was so funny. Bunch of tomato heads. We're not going to go down that trail anyway. They gave me a mission. It was one night. They gave me a mission as an outpost. So you're outside. An outpost is some distance away from the main party, and you're an OPLP, observation point, right? And I had to stay out there all night. So the platoon sergeant gave me the location, and I went to the location. And I'm sitting out there, and I'm looking on the ground, and all I see is the ground moving. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I look a little bit closer. There are thousands of spiders. Thousands of them. Big, tall, black, blue, different color, rainbows. I'm looking down on this, and I'm sitting there. He wants me to sit out here all night? That ain't happening. No chance. I took a stick, and I went to poke one of them, and he whacked the stick.
Whacked the stick.
He whacked the stick with one of his legs. I said, no, I'm not. This is National Guard. I'm not staying out here, dude. No, it's just no.
Did you quit the job on the spot?
Say again?
Did you quit the job on the spot?
I can't quit. I just refuse to stay out there.
Oh?
Yeah, it's a National Guard. I don't have to follow their direction.
Is that why you call them numpties?
Yeah. It had a lot of old timers, active duty old timers in there and stuff. It was really funny. It was like a comedy show for 2 weeks. And they act like they're military, but they're really not. So it's like you can follow orders, and sometimes you really don't have to.
And you took advantage of that then, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because the spiders, that's what reminded me of it. It was, and copperheads everywhere. It was like infested with spiders and copperheads. That's what the military does. All their places, their training areas are always messed up like that. Every single last one of them. They got one catch. For the most part, they got about 50 catches. But there's always something up. People sell them property that's not very good property. In Louisiana, besides the chiggers, were the snakes and the gators. There are gators every damn where. You can't get away from them. They'd be in the wash racks. We got to wash our equipment, all the tanks and all the tracks and stuff. And they got big reservoirs of water. We'd feed them MREs. The MREs that we didn't eat during the field excursion, which were many. Bargain bastages. Yeah, we'd feel that we'd have some extra MREs, but didn't have any trash, so we'd just throw them down in the wash racks and feed them. They loved those MREs, boy.
MREs.
Meals ready to eat.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, they were nasty back then. They're a little bit better now, but we're getting way off the subject here.
Yeah, I got a super chat that was just posted by Lumpy Gas in a Vacuum. He says the Mick West pummeling was a real treat.
Mick West pummeling? What Mick West pummeling? Oh, that old one that's on the channel? That was a long time ago. Is that what he's talking about?
I have no idea. Maybe he rewinded it to see what flat Earth still looked like when it was like.
Yeah, maybe he can go. Maybe he could be a little bit more specific, because I think that's what he's talking about, but I'm not sure.
What was the Mick West pummeling about, by the way, when you did it?
Yeah, he went to 24/7, and he was talking about his fairy tale refraction and his globe Earth, and I just trounced him.
Wasn't he the one with the calculator?
Yeah, Mick West has the calculator. Yeah, he used to do ad hoc changes. I remember that Does he still? I haven't been there in years. Is there still a bulge? Does he still got the bulge on there?
I have no idea.
Where's Adam at? Adam, you been there?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, the bulge. It's fundamentally geometric. Let me look it up. There's. You say he adds stuff on. This is the bit I remember towards the end, after he's destroyed. Where is it? Okay, so he's done all the bit, and he's refracted this in, stuck a refracted horizon and stuff. But it says, this makes me laugh. It's like, well, what's the point then? So, got all this stuff, all the calculator. Then in big red, note, not accurate for observations over water very close to the horizon.
Yeah. He put that in after the Black Swan.
Yeah. It's not accurate over water. Over flat water.
But he's such a clown, that guy. I don't get it, man. That is hilarious. Yeah, he had the last time I looked, like I said, was years ago. It did be little changes. Every month or so there'd be another little click or another little asterisk. It's friggin' hilarious. Mick West, on your little bulge there, do you live on mogul Earth? Because wouldn't there be bulges for everyone, looking every different direction? So you must live on mogul Earth. I don't know. They're retards. I don't know, man. I don't get it. Speaking of retards, we might as well get into the subject, right? It's going to be a short subject, folks. Go ahead.
Before you do, chocolate's arrived, so better say hello, chocolate, as well.
Hello, chocolate.
As I gave him a shout out earlier.
Hello, all. How are you?
Right. Absolutely spiffing, old boy. Absolutely spiffing.
Cheerio, Gov.
That was weak. Is he still your homie?
Yeah.
That's homie all day, bro.
Yeah.
He's especially my homie when he says "brah."
Did he say "brah"?
I'm glad you caught it, chocolate.
Always. Yes,
I didn't hear him say "brah." Sorry for rumpusing you. I didn't hear him say. Betty, did you hear him say "brah"?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, kind of. Either did or he didn't.
Well, yeah. I mean, bro is like really with an O, and bruh. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I asked.
Yeah. Can't go either way.
Bra is the new bro. Apparently.
All the men are wearing bras now.
Oh, brother, here. Yeah, I should have known better.
It's not bra, it's bruh.
Bruh.
Oh my goodness. The small nuances, huh?
Exactly. Details matter, man.
Absolutely. I agree.
All right, give me a minute. I'll be right back. Betty, you got the con.
Really important, right? If you were going to a party and somebody said to you, "Bring your bra," and you didn't understand which one, and you
exactly.
That would be yeah. Hilarious, by the way. Yeah, absolutely. Well, with the Chinese, if you make a wrong emphasis on a word, you can say something totally different, you know? So they have a language that's like a tone language. And if you say the word ma, like ma, then it means something different as ma or ma. It's all, for us, it sounds the same, right? But I think that one is a horse and the one is your mother. So you can call your mother a horse. If you don't
risky
pronounce
language that sound.
Yeah. But I do have to say that also the English, like if you write it down, it doesn't, and you say certain words, then it's the same. The pronunciation is the same, but you write it a different way. And then I'm thinking, how can you guys understand each other? Right?
There.
Yeah. Well, language is cool, right? I'm glad that we can sort of learn the different languages and get along with one another. Hopefully for a longer time, right? So do you think that QE is going down to get some content for a show now?
He's on banana time out.
Hey now.
I knew that would get you back in.
Divergent droid. QE has to have a banana. I'm eating that banana right now. That's not the reason why I left, but that is too funny, man.
Okay, so was there a like a cohort of chiggers coming into your room?
No, I had to take a little rest break.
Oh, wowie. Where did you take that at? At the kitchen?
Oh, brother. We'll get to the topic here in a couple seconds, folks. Don't worry. It's going to be short. Real short. Like a couple sentences.
People are not here for the shortness, but more for the content, right?
Yeah, it doesn't. The length doesn't matter.
Well,
it's too easy. It's too easy.
It's not what she said.
I left that out.
I wasn't taking that bait, Bay. I wasn't taking that bait.
Yeah, because
of all the people, Betty's the one.
Yeah, Betty, her mind's in the gutter constantly.
It's so Benny Hill.
Oh, I get infected by you guys.
We don't do Benny Hill puns. We do intelligent, literary puns. No one does knob gags on Flat Earth Debate.
Sorry, I got that wrong.
I did love me some Benny Hill when I was a kid, though. That was hilarious.
Oh, to put
that guy always running after the women.
Yeah, all right. To put a damper on all this, I think Nathan is going to be looking for you, Betty. I think he's got a small mission for you.
For me?
Yeah, I think he needs you to make another room, a special room, because people are trying to promote his channel, and I think they want to have meetings and stuff. I just want to give you a heads up before he does.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's Divergent Droid Bay. Been modding on Nathan's channel for a while, doing a sound job. Right, so we're giving him a couple of good shout outs. He came on the after show today and just talking about ways in which I think he's prepared to put some time and effort in to get all of the multitude of channels we've got between us. Extra promotion, so going to the place and saying we do advert swaps and so on and so forth. So That's kind of what he's doing. But it thought it'd be useful if you could set a room up in Discord for that specific purpose to meet up and just discuss.
Is it a voice channel or a sort of event like agenda thingy?
Well, I think definite voice channel would be wanted, but maybe with chat and.
Hey, Divergent Droid, he's saying we're going to brainstorm to get you views too. That's okay. I wasn't saying that. I'm not disgruntled or anything. I'm all for it.
Okay, well, I'm open for suggestions, and well, we have to get Righteous Force into this because he's my moderator too, and he knows a lot about the Discord server as well. So if you have to set up roles or stuff, then yeah, okay, I can do that.
Yeah, I just set up a room. I didn't want the discussion to go on for 20 minutes. I was just letting you know, just a heads up that he's probably going to be contacting you.
Okay.
It came to mind.
Oh, wait, you can have an audience.
It came to mind. So I was trying to figure out how to introduce this short, non-lengthy topic because this is really real belly laugher. And we're talking about dip correction. Am I allowed to talk about this now, Adam?
I suppose so.
Adam. Adam, we caught you leaving your mic.
No, the missus just phoned. You know.
That has priority.
Yeah. So I thought I'd bring this up, the dip correction, because it's kind of a popular topic, and we had a how would you say, a little problem with one of the baltards, Hoymar. He was in here earlier. I don't know if he's in here now. Oh, I see his icon. Yeah, he's in there at NASA Numpty. I don't know why you're in here, dude. Because you're a Numpty dipshit. But anyway, back to this dip correction. Everyone's heard this before. To dip or not to dip, that is correction. And dip angle, dip this, dip that. And you get many different stories. If you ask one of these anti-flat earthers what dip correction is, get ready. Because it's going to run the gamut. Now, most will stick with anything to do with the horizon and refraction. I don't know where they get this. They just make it up, and including dip angle correction. All it is height of eye correction. That's all it is. So during the show the other day, we were going round and round for about 2 hours, and then I finally, asked him. I said, "Listen, let me give you this scenario. Keeping in mind all the attributes, according to them, of this fairy tale dip angle correction." I don't know where they're getting that from. Probably from Baruni. And like I said, I don't know why. It doesn't have any context in celestial navigation. Of course, they don't know what celestial navigation is, but I digress. So I said, well, why don't I just solve this real quick? If your dip correction has all these attributes, then let me give you a scenario and you answer the question. So I said, I'm going to throw you overboard with a sextant and with a rubber ducky life preserver. The question, do you have to make a dip angle correction then? And obviously the answer, and he even answered it, no. So, in conclusion, the primary factor is your height of eye. Nothing else matters. Nothing. The only reason why you have to do height of eye correction is because that adjacent line that you're looking to the horizon to and the line that's going up, that is the GP, and the line that's going up to the celestial body, that adjacent line that you're on is slightly acute, depending on how high you are above the water. That's it. It's slightly acute. And what you have to do is you have to drop your eye line down to sea level. That's all you have to do, so you flatten that line out. You get rid of the small acute angle. Right? So that's it. It's all it is height of eye correction. So let's take a look at this. Sorry it's so big, I couldn't get it any smaller. Introduction to Nautical Science by Carl A. Chase. This guy's a real knucklehead. We're gonna talk about a few things, but let's stay focused on the primary. So let's see what he has to say. We're going to read through this, and then I'm going to circle back and then focus on the primary. But there's another thing in here that is, I blocked it off. We'll get to it. So, page 172 from this knucklehead. The next thing we must account for is the fact that the horizon we see is not really 90 degrees from our zenith or from the vertical, unless our eye is right at sea level. At sea level, check this out, the horizon is tangent to the sea surface and at right angles to the vertical. What? But as our height of eye gets higher, the visible horizon dips lower and lower? Oh, we'll get back to that. This is the important part. The purple part, I just want to get right there. Dip is purely a function of our height of eye. That's it. So at least he got one thing right out of this belly laughing monstrosity. We're going to circle back here in a second, but that's it. What does purely mean? Yeah. Purely height of eye. Nothing else. It's all it is. You have to account for the height of eye. That's it. Period. End of story. Done. That's why I gave him the rubber ducky life preserver. So let's circle back here. Let's take a look. I'm going to read this again. See if you can follow this. At sea level, the horizon is tangent to the sea surface? What? Does he even know what a tangent is? This is batshit insane. This is non sequitur from the Black Lagoon. Let's stop right here. Adam, what the hell is going on out here?
If it was a tangent at sea level, and there wouldn't be a need for dip, would there?
How is the horizon a tangent?
At sea level, the horizon is tangent to the sea surface.
What? That's what I said. What?
That doesn't mean anything more to at sea level. The horizon is tangent
to the sea surface. This is batshit insane. At sea level, the horizon is tangent to the sea surface. That makes no sense. It's nonsensical. Yes. He doesn't know what he obviously doesn't know what a tangent is. This is nonsensical, but it's a belly laugher right here. So let's continue. At right angles to the vertical, this is another good one. But as our height of eye gets higher, the visible horizon dips lower and lower. Really? Can somebody show that? I want to see that.
See, that's a really bad example of how I understand it. It's a very poor description of things.
He's thinking the horizon dips. But then in the next sentence, after the figure 13.3, his illustration, then he says dip is purely a function of our eye height or height of eye. Then, that doesn't line up. Then it doesn't have anything to do with your horizon dips lower and lower. What? This is all contradictory, convoluted horseshit. Now, the dip is purely a function of our height of eye is correct. However, he contradicts himself with the upper statement that the horizon dips. The horizon doesn't dip, number one. And even if it did, you just contradicted that statement with dip is purely a function of our height of eye. You see, I hope everyone's getting this, folks. This is a belly laugher right here. Go ahead.
That's interesting, that because it doesn't It stays. You've raised your height of eye. Yeah. To get the bigger height of eye correction, you raise your height of eye. That's what makes the angle more obtuse. You raising the height of the eye.
No, acute.
No, obtuse, because the higher you go, yeah, it opens the angle with the deck up.
No, it doesn't open the angle. It closes that. Yeah, we're looking at it on two different ways, because that would make the 90 more acute.
Obtuse, bigger, because
smaller.
When you're in your rubber ducky, it's at 90,
right?
Isn't it?
If you raise up,
a foot, and what you're doing, because you've got your flat deck, that then opens the angle up past 90 a little bit.
No, it doesn't. You're not going beneath the water. That would open the angle up.
You're going the other way, up.
Yeah. Well, we're just looking at it two different ways. Of course, you're incorrect, but let's get past that. Yeah,
well, I'll kick your ass later. So move on. This is the point I'm making, and the important point is what he's doing is just, and this is the important, and this is why I asked for the age of this citation, this little bit. Where is it from, and what year? Because the intent's been going through stuff where they're trying to ascribe it the opposite way. It's purely a geometric function, and which is really interesting. And we've got this at 1850, them doing this. So it's interesting that this one is the complete opposite from the truth, from the earlier almanacs and the earlier navigational logs in terms of what height of eye correction is. It's a function due to how high the eye is off the surface. What year is it?
I don't know. I can't see it. It's too big.
Send it as like, yeah. No, we'll just send it as later, because that's interesting. Because that it doesn't matter which way they do it, whether they ascribe it this way and we thank them for it, for being honest, or whether they want to ascribe it as a geometric issue in terms of curvature. It ruins them either way, but that's interesting. This one's, because it just reads later than 1850, this, John, which is why I find it interesting.
Yep. I don't want to lose focus on one correct statement in here. Dip is purely a function of our height of eye. So if it's purely a function of our height of eye, then it doesn't have anything to do with anything else because of this word. You see, purely? That's what that means. It's without insult from anything else. Purely. So let's go to another one. Let me make this bigger. Yeah, that's a little better. I don't think I can go any bigger than that. Let's try it. Nah, I don't think I can do it.
You don't need to go past that, John. That, like I was saying, has massive, it's devastating implications, that.
I know it does, but I wanted to move on. That this is also, I'll have to get the source for this. This came from 10th. I want to direct everyone's attention down here to dip. Listen closely. Dip in minutes of arc is approximately equal to the square root of the height of the eye in feet. Wonder where we heard that before. The correction applies to all observations in which the horizon is used as the horizontal reference. It is always a minus correction. If 0.1 degree, hold on, I'm getting to the punchline. If 0.1 degree accuracy is used, no dip correction is needed for a lifeboat heights of eye. Now, that's it. It's all over. Those two kill it. If you hear any baldtard dreaming up his fantasy of all these attributes of a dip angle correction, which they're somehow connecting it to Bruni's dip angle. I don't know why. It's height of eye. That's all it is. And this shows you right now, if you're on a lifeboat, you don't even need it. If you're in a rubber ducky life preserver, that's even closer to sea level. So you most assuredly ain't going to need it. And if that's purely a function of the height of eye, then it doesn't have anything to do with anything else other than the height above sea level. Everyone follow? I hope everyone got that. Adam, you want to comment on this one?
Well, that's it. This one is as you say, Alberuni's reification. The higher you go, but just I say it's always a minus correction because you've opened the angle up above 90 because you've raised the eye above the deck. It makes the angle obtuse. So you have to take a
No, it doesn't. You're still trying to go on this. We'll do this after the show, and I'll show you where you're wrong.
Okay.
So I just want to focus on the lifeboat and heights of eye. So all DIP is concerned with is the height of eye correction. That's it. We good?
He did say if we allow for 0.1% accuracy. Yeah, but that's because he's in a lifeboat, because he's a little bit above the water, isn't it? Because when you bring the angle, the vertex onto the water, that's when it's absolutely accurate.
Oh, hello, Brian.
And in doing so, he quantifies the insignificance of that first foot to 2 or 3 foot above the water. He's saying that's the level of difference it's going to make to your reading, 0.1%. So are you really going to get a book out and adjust that figure, or just be realistic and just accept the figure you're using? You may as well, because you're virtually on the deck anyway. Okay? So that's just confirming to me what the whole thing's about. It's about creating that 90 level with the deck.
Yes.
And if you tiny weeny bit out, really don't worry about it, is what that's saying. It's not to say it's not. If you're not worried about a 0.1% inaccuracy, which for most cases you know you're not going to be too stressed, especially if you're in a lifeboat. You want to be headed in one way, just crack on. It's going to be absolutely fine. Well,
you really
the premise of how it works.
Are we really arguing over 0.1 degree?
Not in the slightest. That's what I'm saying. Head that way. Which I can be 0.1 out if I'm heading that way to safety.
Yeah, if you're in now, that doesn't have anything to do with my rubber ducky life preserver because it's even lower than that lifeboat. So that his comment of not 0.1 doesn't have anything to do with my rubber ducky life preserver. It's not 0.00000001. Too funny. I told you that would be a short presentation, folks. I mean, what? There's really nothing more I can do because that's all there is. Yeah.
I got a super chat for you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so you got one from Unitox Famu. It says, sea level is sea surface. We learned something.
Oh, he taught us something with those train wreck comments. This friggin' guy, Mr. Chase, whatever his name is, thinks as he raises up in height that the horizon drops. I don't know. I've never looked down at the horizon. Has anyone ever gone high up and looked down at the horizon? I never have. I've never even seen
What
it.
an idiot.
There's a number of
What an idiot.
yeah, a number of people back in the 16s, I think, did it with. What's interesting is it does move. It does move, but it doesn't move in any. So at certain heights, it was higher, and certain heights, and as you went even higher, it brought it back up. Yeah. So I'm trying to think who did it. It was Stan Smith and South African dude as well. Come back to me, but they did a lot of showing where the point of optical dissolution is. So remember what this is. They're trying to reify it, yeah, into something. So whether it's here, there, or anywhere, inference, please, is what I would say to you. But what we do know, and what you can't infer from it, is it's the leading edge of a ball. That is me done, by the way. unless you're on a banana.
Has anyone ever seen? Yeah, you're never going to see this. Anyone ever seen Mitchell from Australia when he starts his drone off at the ground and he slowly rises up and rises up and rises up?
His statement kind of back-engineered reality to fit what he believed, which was that what actually happened is sea level stayed at sea level, and he went up higher than he was above it. But then he stated that sea level, basically by saying the horizon dipped down more. The horizon didn't go anywhere. That stayed where it was.
Radio check.
He went up.
Sorry about that, Brian. I thought my mic
changed
was...
his angle to the horizon.
Hey, Brian, can you hear me?
Just now I can. I didn't hear you before that.
Yeah, sorry about that. My mic went out for a second. That was really strange. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I'm finished. Finished what I was saying.
Yes, and then I'm getting messages. Thanks. No, I don't. I don't want to address it. Why should I address it?
Just a question.
So, somebody put in here, don't you remember when Flat Earth Data said the square root of the height times 1.22 was the same as the refraction calculation and not because of a ball? I remember that. Yeah. Okay. What's refraction? Yeah. You got to answer that question. Then it just, I don't know if it blows this whole thing up or, but calculations, it's nonsensical.
I think that's a misquote, to be fair. I think the comparison was the 1.22 in the Rayleigh criterion for optical resolution. It doesn't make any more significance, but I think that's the comparison. It's not refraction.
Yeah, that was Flat Earth Data's point.
Yep. So anything else on dip angle correction? The moral of the story is if you hear anyone say dip angle correction and they say anything that follows out of their mouth other than height of eye, they're pretender clowns. Just crush them. What's that?
Well, they are trying to correct to something that we apparently can't see, right? So that would make them crazy regardless.
Yes. Yes, like Hormoy tried to do. Remember when I busted him? Where'd he go, by the way? He boot scooted out of here. This guy tried with the dip angle correction, and I kid you not, he tried to manifest the non-visible horizon from a dip angle correction. He even admitted it.
Correct.
So just think about that, folks. He tried to manifest the non-visible horizon. Non-visible horizons don't exist, by the way, from a dip angle correction. So where did he get the dip angle if he couldn't see the horizon? In his world. I'm strictly in his paradigm because it doesn't have anything to do with friggin' horizon. What's dip? Let me ask you this. Indirectly it does, but what's it purely involved with? Their dip angle correction.
Geometric horizon that we don't see.
No.
Only in the maths.
Height of eye.
Height of eye.
That's it. It's it. Doesn't take anything into account. I just showed two sources that said it doesn't. And it doesn't. It's common sense. There you go. That's the rubber ducky life preserver. It's the death knell to the ball-tard spinning space monkeys' navigational skills. They don't know what a sextant is. Folks, you listen to these guys out here. They have no clue. Like the first guy in here, Bob, the pseudoscience fallacy guy, fumbling, bumbling, and stumbling, giving lectures on the sextant on his channel, I guess. I can't even remember where I got that from. He has no clue on what it even is. These people are delusional. Dunning-Kruger clinical level numpty dipshits of epic proportions. How in the hell can you get up and give a block of instruction on something you're clearly clueless of? What kind of demented, delusional individual would do such a thing? He's not the only one.
Why wasn't he doing that before we started talking about Sextant? I don't understand.
Him and
so when
listen.
When we started talking about, all of a sudden these guys are doing lectures and stuff now.
Yeah, they're on the lecture. They're on the lecture circuit, Chocolate. Yes, you're right. And I didn't mean this just to say Bob. It's all of them. Yep. That's it.
Well.
Uh-oh. Getting messages again. Yeah, I know. We might, maybe not. One second, folks. Dead air is okay air to me. Oh, what's up? I seen a message. Hold, muted. That's it. Oh, damn. Obstruct. I'm sorry about that. You're not muted.
I am muted in.
Oh, thanks.
But then again, nobody dares talk when you're talking.
Oh, here comes the backslides. I was waiting.
I do.
Yeah, I do.
I just had it going to say an odd two single is greater than 90.
Dude, your mic is a train wreck.
What up, AI?
Give me a radio check, AI.
Radio check.
Get closer to the mic and stop mumbling, sir.
It's too low power.
Oh, I hear him well.
Too low of power. Well, Scotty, we need more power.
More power to the warp core.
I like the scratching and stuff. All right.
Maybe he's trying to get the price tag off.
He's trying to get the price tag off.
They got another super chat from Fiber Roads.
That's what I'm talking about.
1683, never forget.
1683? What happened in 1683?
I don't know. It must be someone that made maybe Baruni or someone else. Whatever.
Nah, Baruni was a little bit before 1683.
Oh.
Baruni's around 1100s, if I'm not mistaken.
We've got Siege of Vienna.
The Siege of Vienna.
Mm.
And okay.
What was the #1 song in 1683?
Für Elise. Well, I'm just kidding. Who knows?
Fiber Oats, you got us perplexed here.
Yeah, maybe he's going to get
It's
back.
the end of the domination of the Ottoman Empire in Eastern Europe.
Oh, Fiber Oats, that's the FED episode. Make sure you put FED 1683 because
Wow. Nobody's even thought of that.
No, it's pretty bad, isn't it, that we're starting to regulate time by Nathan's shows.
Yeah, that's right.
Not a...
Yeah. Stardate.
In the year of our Nathan.
Yeah.
Nathan date 1680.
Yeah, Fiber, you had me going back. Okay, 1683. What the heck?
It sounds like a year, right?
That's like what year did you start? Episode 143.
Yeah, FED 143.
I like it.
That was actually my first episode. That's why I remember it.
When was your daughter born? FED 23.
You would be baffled by that, but you would think, oh, yeah, yeah. Nice. I see Hoymar in the side chat, but he's not in the.
That's all right. We don't want to. Just go to 1683, Betty, and you'll see why.
Probably.
Yeah, because he was the one that brought out the. Well, he didn't bring it out. He just brought it into the vernacular, the rubber ducky life preserver. But I had mentioned that a long time ago. I think the. I think I. Oh, brother. Go ahead.
I don't know if any globe guys would come over.
Yeah, Eric E here in the chat is a Glober. Maybe he wants to add something.
I listen. But even if he doesn't have anything to say, that's okay. But I would listen. Lost him.
All right. Well, he just disappeared. All right. Too bad.
I was going to
Seems
say
nobody
something.
dares talk here anymore.
I was going to say something before I was rumpus before the last rumpus.
See, I won't say anything more because I'm scared.
You're okay. I just lost my train of thought on what I was going to say. I had something. I had something important to say, but I lost it.
It usually isn't important if you can't remember.
Here we go. Oh, that's not. See, I anticipated the backhanded slight, and it wasn't a real one.
Exactly, it wasn't a real one. Make stuff up. Got another super chat, by the way.
Wait a second before you get that super chat. I don't make stuff up.
Of course you do.
I do not. Get to the super chat.
Fiber roads. It was my way of ribbing someone. Sorry. I have been watching Nathan's show a lot though, and yours.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. You just had to put FED in front of that 1683, but we're like hound dogs. You put a big number out there, we're trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Big number. Yeah. Say star date. 1683. That's a nice ring to it.
Star
so,
date.
do you want to go over the list, or do you want to what?
You're gonna have to go, right?
In about 7 minutes, I suppose. Yes.
So we got 7 minutes to fill.
Yeah. Well, 7 minutes. We have people in the chat. Right?
Yeah. Go through it. We'll see how it goes. If we jump on another topic or not. There's nothing here with this topic. This is what they call in the industry a slam dunk. There is no discussion with this.
What industry is that?
The chigger industry.
They bite you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Betty. You got the con.
So abstrused angles. Just the last name. You want to add something? Say something on this topic or another?
That's AI. Don't tell anyone.
I think he's gone.
He might have got sore because I said his mic was crap.
Yeah, well, I could hear him fine. All right, Brian's logic. You there?
He's frying potatoes somewhere.
Everybody's
Oh, there he is. Sorry about that. We're rumpusing you and giving you backhanded slights. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, no worries. I had to turn off the Hoover, so I didn't want that answer with the Hoover on. All I'd say is that the dip angle correction thing, in today's celestial navigation, or the most recent use of celestial navigation with a sextant, the dip angle is a mathematical dip to a geometric horizon. It's not, and they flip between. So now I didn't hear the episode with the lad Hoymar that was talking to you, but when he said, I heard that he said that when you brought up the rubber ducky life preserver, he said there was no dip correction. That's an equivocation between the two, the old and the new dip correction. But that would mean he wouldn't be doing any height of void correction.
Yep.
But the problem with that is the dip correction he would have been claiming prior to that had nothing to do with the height of void correction. It was got to do with a dip angle to geometric horizon.
Exactly.
Then they use 7/6R to correct.
Exactly, Brian. You're exactly right. Yep.
Okay.
Good catch.
All right. Chocolate. Wanna add something?
In other words, what you're saying with that, Brian, is that in their model, they would still have to do that dip correction, as opposed to him just saying, well, no, I don't have to do that dip correction.
Well, yeah, see, what he
Know
would
what
have
you're
been
saying?
what he would have been originally claiming was the dip correction that is the current dip correction, which is just a mathematical globes begging the question fallacy. That's all it is. They mathematically correct from a geometric horizon that they don't see and is only in the maths up to the actual horizon, and then they do height of void correction. Whereas at one time, height of void and dip correction were the same thing, and that's what QE was referencing. But when Hoymar agreed, when Hoymar was asked by Quantum Razor, if I put you in a rubber ducky life preserver with a sextant at the water line, will you have to do dip correction? And he said no, but it's incorrect for his original claim, because he would still have to do dip correction within his paradigm.
The important point
For
right
his
there.
dip correction.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
nice
hold on.
okey-doke.
Hold on. The important point that Brian mentioned, within Hoymar's fantasy delusion, he would have to.
Yes. Within he should still have to. He answered wrong. He answered wrong when he said you don't have to do it at that point. He answered right and he answered wrong. He answered right for reality and wrong for what he was previously claiming.
Exactly.
Which is their model. Yeah. That's it. Thanks.
Betty?
Yeah, so there's another super chat that I just wanted to read out. Unitux Vemu says, how deep correction will form curvature in reality?
How
Don't
deep?
know if it's
Thanks a lot, Unitox Femu. How deep correction will form curvature in reality? Well, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with it.
That's actually what Brian just brought up. When it's dealing with reality, as in you put your eyes on the damn water, oh, you don't need that, apparently. Right?
Right.
But before that, oh, you needed to dip correct. Oh, yeah. Hilarious.
Well, yeah, the horizon, we're looking down at the horizon, it's dipping. Yeah, where? What fairy tale is that in?
Yeah, well, the point is, Chocolate, he'd still have to do it within what he was previously claiming. He'd still have to do it even in a rubber ducky life preserver. He'd still have to do the mathematical correction he was claiming if that was something that he felt he had to do. Because that's just a mathematical correction from a globe Earth's geometric horizon refracted up to, with using 7/6R to the horizon we see, the real horizon. So he still would have had to do that. Not that you would do it in reality, but do you know what I mean? But that's all it is.
Yeah, I get it, bro. I get it.
Yep.
Where does
That's
the
funny.
horizon occur? Sorry, Chuck.
No, go ahead, man.
The way that I try to fit is that question. Where does the horizon actually occur? Is it out there where I'm looking? No. It only occurs in my eye. That's why if I take the black swan images, that horizon's way past where I can see. I've got a different lens. It occurs in the lens of the horizon. It's a limitation of view. Some of it's due to the air, but most of it is down to the nature of the lens. And it's a limitation that occurs in that lens, and the way it forms is because we're looking over a flat deck. Why it has such regularity, because it's not dealing with a curved deck. Yeah, when its limitation is running out, it's always, you know, when we're looking over sea or really high up, we're looking with a pretty much a flat deck. But that horizon, it's not real, is it? It's only a point of non-rendering in the lens.
They don't know that. They think it's the leading edge of a sphere.
Wait, it has to be for them, Neil, and that's the point in this, isn't it? For them, it has to be. They have to look down to the geometric edge to adjust their level, knowing that what they're adjusting to isn't really there. Make the adjustment, it's somewhere else. They're not sure where it is. Yeah? To make that adjustment off a geometric point. Nothing to do. The lens is accurate 100%. Yeah, that horizon is formed by geometry. It's to align a tangent to that point. Then calculate that tangent to realign it down to the surface, which is flat but isn't flat because you've been able to create a tangent to it. It's double speaking. It's almost, when you look at each bit, they try and break down. Fundamentally, it's about their biggest is to reify the limitation of a lens into a geometric curve of their Earth.
How do you measure to something that only exists in optics?
It's described as the line where the sea meets the sky. Is that a real point? No.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Know that.
No. That's
How do you
what was
measure to
interesting in that.
I mean, if you've got like, I've seen the demonstration where somebody had like 3 different cameras and with different apertures, sizes, and shit. And it's like, okay, so there's 3 different horizons with all 3 devices. So which one is the actual horizon? How do you measure to that? If you've got 3 different optical things looking at this apparent place, and they're in different places. How do you have a mathematical equation to that place? You out of your mind?
That's crazy.
Well, there's no horizons on maps, is there? You know, there's no location to the horizon. Not it. You won't find it.
Still trying to look for the address, but I can't get it.
But it all starts with the horizon.
The ball starts with the presumption that the horizon is the leading edge of its geometry.
Like what you said, though, it's in our eye. My vision is causing that.
Nathan mentions it when he says, like, you know, you go to the coast, look out, where's the horizon? You can crack your P900 out, get the horizon further, you get your iPhone out. It's even shorter. What to do with the size of that lens, put simply, isn't it? And the optics in the lens as to where the horizon resolves. Or that lens. The horizon is.
If you're in the water and the water line is up to your nose or just above your nose if you hold your breath, and you look across the water, if it's somewhat smooth or somewhat calm, basically you're just seeing a horizontal. That's as much of a horizontal as you can see across a large surface. When you raise up, what you're doing is you're changing your angle to that horizontal, that sea level. That's all you're doing when you're raising up. And the horizon will appear to move further away from you because it appears to stretch out further as you rise up. But it only appears to do it because it's only apparent. It's not really real.
Oh, it's resolution again. As you So part of that calculation is as you go up across the flat deck, suddenly, when you were right on the deck, the angles to the distance were all limited. They were all virtually the same. 30, 40 foot in front of you was the same angles virtually that you can resolve as a mile away. And you go up a foot, suddenly there's a difference between the angles to those points across the flat deck. And it's how, this is why it matches a 1.22 curve. Yeah? Why they try to mug it off as curvature. Because as you go up, it's not a straightforward geometric relationship just to the flat deck. The flat deck plays its part. As I said, the most important part is the lens and how the lens resolves stuff. And it's how those angles to the deck change each time. If you plot it, it gives you that plot that the ball has tried to mug you off that it's Earth curve. But like I say, it fits much closer to Rayleigh criterion mathematics than it does to all geometry.
All right, we good?
One last thing to say. I make it very, very fast. Most of the globe.
That was fast, wasn't it?
That was quick as shit.
Thanks, Brian.
Go on, Brian. Do it again, mate.
Come on, you punk.
He refuses.
Sorry?
You cut off, Brian.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, for some reason, my headphones went off. I thought I was out there getting it in. I'll say it again. Over the years, most of the claims from our opposition have been through the use of angular measurements. Now, angular measurements are measurements of perspective. So, measurements of perspective and angular measurements and perspective itself is not part of the globe model. The globe model hijacks perspective. All the globe model's mathematics are orthographic mathematics. We don't view things orthographically. So there is no perspective in globe Earth mathematics. Why does Polaris appear to rise and drop in the sky on a globe Earth? It's due to Earth curve, not perspective. So there is no perspective or angular measurements possible on a globe Earth. So any claims of anything globe related that involves angles or perspective, you can throw it directly out the window.
Yeah, it's non sequitur. You brought that up the other day. It's a good point. It's a unique look, a unique angle or take on things. I liked it.
Yeah, the sun can't have an angular size on a globe Earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's
though,
really
right?
good. Go ahead, Chocolate.
I was gonna say it's true though, right? Because any movement of any of the celestials are due to the Earth turning, the Earth curve, right? That's it. That's why they don't have any perspective in their calculations. It's a good point, man.
We were discussing this, weren't we, with Brian? On about, and I brought up the cake and cutting a slice of cake, and this is the thing. Whenever we're looking at the sun, looking at these things, we're using lenses, and we're actually, as celestial navigation kind of shows, we're using perspective to define distance, not size in these things. But all of these things change, and the cake's a good thing. If I had a 45-degree segment in front of me, and the further away I move that cake, and if I made the cuts each time, every cut, the further it away, would be different to those 45 degrees. So as you move away, I think this is the point you was saying, Bright, yeah? If you try and make 45 degrees in your eye, it's not even necessarily that in the distance on the deck. If you're trying to form these things, all these things are perverted by perspective, and we have to understand that. And that's the fundamentals, like I say, of celestial navigation, is it's that recognition that these angles aren't angles of curve, they're angles of distance due to perspective. And that's what we use within celestial navigation and the use of triangles to calculate.
You're gonna open up another can of whoop ass with that angular distance. You don't expect me to sit here and not say. Hold on a second before you rumpus me. You don't expect me to sit here and take that, do you?
What? No, I was going to be cheeky,
Mr. Mr. Obtuse.
I'm very obtuse sometimes. No, explain that, because that's I use that in terms of that statement in terms of celestial navigation, because that's its gift, for want of a better phrase. That's the inner workings of it, isn't it? I know. No, we've done this. We've done this, haven't we? We bloody have, you fucker.
Yeah, but you tried to sneak it in.
I didn't mean to. I did preface it when we did this that it was perfectly permissible if we preface with celestial navigation. Other than that, it is a nonsensical statement. I do concede. Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I do again, because if you use it outside of what we're talking about, celestial navigation, it is nonsensical. Totally.
Well, with celestial navigation, with celestial navigation, you're measuring a distance via angles, but you're not measuring an angular distance without the multiplication by 60. You're measuring a distance via minutes of degree, a conversion from them. But an angular distance, I don't know. Is that that statement doesn't work out?
Yeah, it doesn't work out.
I conceded. Grammatically horrible. You said it a bit nicer, actually, Brian, the first time. Say again. You're
measuring a distance via angular measurements, or via angular. I can't remember what I said.
No, you've ruined it now. It was best.
I can't remember.
I concede the point, and it is contradictory in real world. But like I said, when I defended it, it was just I get the point that we need to rewind, because that was quite nice the way you said it the first time.
You're measuring the distance via angular means.
I don't know. Go to chat. One of them heard it. It's just a sort of nuance, though, isn't it? But I say only in celestial navigation, though. Outside of that, what?
All right, we ready to move on? You guys get it all out?
No, I've got one more bit. I don't even think it applies. If you were to look at the sun, and you can take the angular size of the sun, I don't think you can apply that to celestial navigation and say that it's that big. Does that make sense? I don't think those things are translatable.
Well, no, because that's an angular size of something we don't know the actual size of.
Well, angular. Hold on. Angular size means apparent size or not actual. Right. That's the inherent part of the definition, number one. Number two, if you're a globetard, you can't take an angle. Like Brian said, you can't get an angular size of anything in the globetard.
I'm not talking globe. I'm talking translate. Because you look at this stuff, and if we've got this ability to translate into navigator's minutes, and that have an effect on a GP on the surface, and surely these angles in the sky mean equivalences, have an equivalency. And the point I was making was that if we say the sun's or the moon about 1 degree, aren't they? That doesn't necessarily mean that it's 60 nautical miles wide to me. That's the point I'm making. I don't think, as I've said before, these things are translatable back up there. So whilst we can use these angles to define distances down here on the surface, that's what's left. I don't think it's translatable to say that if it's 1 degree wide would mean it's 60 nautical miles.
No, that's based on a radius value underlying it.
Well, just the width of what you're seeing up there. What I'm saying is I don't think the reverse applies.
Right.
In fact, it can't, the more I think about it. But you know.
Precisely. You got it. All right, where are we at? We have a couple people jumped in here. We have Cuddles the Pirate. Cuddles the Pirate. Questions, comments, concerns, preferably about the, not about chiggers, but the actual short presentation.
I missed everything so far. I showed up really late.
That's okay. You're forgiven. All right, Neil.
Yes.
Sounds like I didn't say Betty. I said Neil.
Oh, yeah, I sounded like her, didn't I?
Yeah.
Great show. What else can I say? Keep them coming. QE is ace.
Well, thank you. That was very nice to say. I didn't even have to pay you much. No thanks. Questions, comments, concerns, preferably concerning the show, minus the chiggers. No thanks, then. Rabbit.
Deep correction. You should take out the no chiggers. You could be missing on a real good anti-chigger treatment.
Yeah, I could be. Hold up, Sasha, man. I took you off mute about 30 minutes ago. Just hold off.
Where's Betty?
Betty had a prior engagement she had to take off, and I sort of went long, so she left. So everyone say bye to Betty.
Bye, Betty. Bye. Is it midget golf again?
Bye.
All right, Rabbit. Oh, you're still on mute. Sorry about that. Rabbit, what you got? Questions, comments, concerns?
Nope.
No.
So far, everything is clear so far.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yep.
No questions.
Okay. Cool. Sasha, it's your turn now.
I'm concerning why deep correction has nothing to do with curvature. Because
go ahead.
Yes, because on the end, what's the point?
There is no point.
If somebody, yeah, of course. Then in the sentence when you wrote that is like you ask Adam, this is like not nonsensical. But the sentence was something like the sea level is and sea surface, and then I was totally confused. Like, what is different between sea level and sea surface?
Oh, that one. Okay, let me put it back up. There you go, so everyone can see what he's talking about before. Yeah, this is a real cluster gaggle. Except the purple outline, he is correct right here. Dip is purely a function of our height of eye, but everything else, he needs to be institutionalized.
There was something else you read in there, something about perpendicular to 90 degrees, something like that. What was that line?
Yeah, I can read it. I put it back up on the on YouTube, so it should be getting you. Chocolate, if you're watching, it'll pop back up. See if I can make it a little bit bigger.
Damn it, I wasn't watching. Give me a second.
Yep, I'll go ahead and read it again. And this is from Carl A. Chase. Nautical science. Nautical, that's a contradiction in terms. Well, it's not a natural science. So he says, the next thing we must account for is the fact that the horizon we see is not really 90 degrees from our zenith. I'm going to come back to that. I kind of missed that. I kind of went over that part. We'll come back to that. Or from the vertical, unless our eye is right at sea level. Oh, I see what he's saying. Yeah, that's correct. This is the quite troubling part. At sea level, on many levels, at sea level, No pun intended. At sea level, the horizon is tangent to the sea surface. He's about one step from cutting his own ear off. This is a ridiculous statement right here. At sea level, the horizon is tangent to the sea surface and at right angles to the vertical. But as our height of eye gets higher, the visible horizon dips lower and lower. He's a basket case. The higher our eye, the bigger the amount of this dip angle. Yeah, right. And Anna Nicole married for love.
On a ball.
And Anna Nicole married for love, and Pol Pot was her florist. Let me finish, Adam. Figure 13-3 illustrates the situation. Yeah, right. I bet it does. Another friggin' crayon munching cartoon. Dip is purely a function of our height of eye. That is correct. You still need institutionalized. So if that height is known, dip can be calculated. A table on the inside front cover of the Nautical Almanac provides the amount of dip to be whatever. So there you go, Chocolate.
The bit where you've got the blue line, at sea level, the horizon is tangent to the sea surface and at right angles to the vertical, but our height of eye gathers the visible horizon dips lower and lower. So that statement there is a confirmation of a geometric realignment to define a horizontal to the 90 degrees where your feet are, okay, on the ball. Okay, and to me, anyway, right. Then it then says the higher our eye, the bigger the dip of angle, which I would concur with. If the higher you go above the surface of the deck of a curving ball, the more obtuse the angle will be. Right? So it's made these fundamental claims that the purpose of this dip correction and this bit between the blues and the next bit is a geometric consideration. It's about how the deck alters and how we realign to that, which is what I think they I'm not sure it was who came in and made the same sort of claim. But they're trying to align to this thing. And this is what I like about this quote, John, is after making all those claims, it then says the complete contrary.
Yep.
It is purely, solely, no other cause or reason. It is a function of our height of eye.
Yep.
That completely contradicts that it's got anything to do with how the deck is altering itself
Yep.
underneath. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. We already went over this.
I know, but it was that first bit, because the first bit is all right, but it's the bit in the blue and then the sentence afterwards before the pink that is really contradicting itself. Now I've had a chance to read it a couple. You know what I mean? It's because we weren't sure what it was saying. At sea level, the horizon is tangent to the sea surface and at right angles to the vertical, but our height of eye gets higher, the visible horizon dips lower and lower. But that's exactly what it's saying. We reify the horizon as the leading edge of a ball, and as we go higher, we have to adjust more and more because it will go lower and lower. Therefore, we have to adjust the angle more because it gets further and further away from the horizontal at our feet, the 90 degree zenith. The dip is purely a function of the height.
What's tangent to the sea surface?
yeah, right. Chocolate. I stopped right there when I first seen it. I said, this guy needs to be rubber roomed.
That's the bit that commits them. That's the bit that commits them to a geometric point. So when they're claiming a tangent, they're claiming that this is now a curve. Because the only thing your straight line of sight can see to in terms of a tangent, where a tangent would be relevant, would be if you're to a curve. So they're making the claim in,
that's what I was just like, wait a minute. Tangent to the sea surface. So that's another open joke. You're just automatically assuming that's the sea surface is a freaking ball.
You can't
Otherwise,
make a tangent.
how would you have a tangent to it?
Yeah, you can't make a tangent to a flat surface. Yeah, because you just intersect it straight away.
Yes.
The point of the tangent is to just touch it at one point and never intersect. It touches and goes off away again. Yeah. So you can only, by inherent geometry, to create a tangent, it has to be a curved surface that it's creating the tangent to. This is what I say there's a committal with in silence.
Well, it seems to me that when it came to reality, he didn't know how to describe it. because technically what he says makes no sense. So he didn't know how to describe reality. So he added in what he thought would kind of get past people. Because how do you describe that it's not a curve that he's seeing? Because that's the point, isn't it? The horizon is what he's after putting himself in a position where from his eye line directly out, if he put his eyes on the water, directly out is the horizon in a horizontal line. Whereas that can't be on a globe. So he had to put in tangent.
And if you're saying tangent, you could just assume, you could just kind of just put out there that there's a curve without actually saying the word curve.
Yeah.
If you don't know what a tangent is, you're just going to be like, yeah, all right, that checks out.
Yeah,
Until
that's
you know
right.
what a tangent is. And then you're like, hold up, hello.
That's what I said. That's what I said in the beginning, Chocolate. I said this numpty doesn't know what a tangent is. Just take this in, folks. At sea level, the horizon is tangent to the sea surface. A tangent is a straight line that intersects one small point on a surface. Does the horizon intersect one small point in your field of view? This guy is insane.
The only way, yeah. So go on, Brian.
No, you go, Adam.
The only way, from a geometric point of view, that you can do that is if you're on a ball to use the word. Otherwise, it has no relevance in the geometry you're describing. That's why I say it's a hidden, kind of tacit.
Yeah, but the horizon isn't a tangent to anything.
It is if you reify it as the leading edge of a ball.
No, it's still not. No, it's not.
No, I know that. I know that, but if you put it orthographically, then suddenly people can visualize it and kind
no,
of
they can't
move on from.
No, they can't. After
they
a couple,
shouldn't,
maybe after you're gonna rumpus me, aren't you? Maybe after a couple bottles of Jack Daniels, maybe, but that doesn't make any damn sense, even on a globe.
This is their back calculation, exactly, isn't it? Because this line that they're drawing, this tangent they're drawing, is their adjustment angle for creating a level at 90 degrees at the feet, so the zenith, right?
No,
but they,
no.
I know that. but this is where it's not where it's is where it is. Yeah, it's moved by 7/6 or whatever reasons. Yeah, this is the rhetoric we're given, and this is in all the stuff. This is the offing as they're describing it, and you get a bastardization of the term offing. So it's not where it is, but you're going to make an adjustment for it. Yeah, and then we finish with, but it's not that. It's just solely a function of height of eye, purely a function of height of eye, and that's my point. It's that complete contradiction, not the nuances of our understanding a tangent, but I mean the tangent does describe the surface is curving, because you can't have a tangent otherwise. They have to be balling it up.
There's something there. What? Sorry to interrupt. There's something even more disturbing that I ran into with this statement. At sea level, the horizon is tangent to the sea. This is giving the impression that it's different above sea level. That it's not tangent. Did you catch that? This is deeper level stuff.
It's parallel, isn't it? The fact it doesn't make any sense at all, does it? You're trying to interpret into sense, but
yeah, I'm just tearing it apart right on the surface. This is batshit insane, and you know anything on the surface that's batshit insane, if you tear it down, it gets worse. But this is just crazy. This is lunacy. I don't know what he's been drinking or snorting, but he's in more than a shroom-induced coma with this. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. Yeah, he's contradicting several things, because he's contradicting the reason that he talked about the eye line going down there in the first place. The point he's made is so you'd have a horizontal meeting a vertical creating a perpendicular at 90 degrees. And then he's claiming that the horizon is a tangent, which it isn't within his model anyway. That's a contradiction of his model in what they're claiming. It's a refracted horizon. So it's
Oh,
not
God.
a tangent. It's not touching. It's not even touching the sphere.
At sea level, his eye is the tangent on a ball. This is how retarded this is. This statement makes no sense. I'm trying to put it into geometry, yeah? At sea level, the horizon is tangent to the sea surface. I suppose that's correct, because the eye and the horizon would be the same thing. Because all you've got in their ball geometry is an eye sat on the top of a ball. I suppose they are all the same thing. But it's just like not reality, is it? It's just stop it. Dip is only a function of our height of eye. End of. Done. I'll take that bit from it.
I had to pull that thing off the live stream because I was losing IQ points just looking at it. Now I'm down to 223. Bastard.
So eat more babies then to get it back up at that number.
Yeah, that was really.
My phone's at 1%. It's gonna die, so I'll just say goodbye to you guys right now.
Okay, Chocolate. Thanks for coming, man.
Good evening, Choc.
Yeah,
Take
good
it
evening,
easy,
sir.
mate.
Yep.
See you, Chuck.
Yeah, Adam, I didn't realize how stupid it was until about an hour before the show. When I went ahead and read through it, I read through it once and I said, because I just put it in a file, I said, I'll get back to it. Never did. And I read it one time and I said, what in the world did I just read? It was something like that. And then I went back and went sentence by sentence and I said, he needs to be shackled and rubber roomed. It was preposterous.
We were there. Owen, get your arse in here, right? Because this is really, you know, I was having this chat about what is canon, what isn't, right? Well, this reads like anti-flat Earth rhetoric that's being put in stuff. It's convoluted, it's nonsensical, it's contradictory, yeah. All to try and strap a ball on, strap a dingleberry on there, yeah. Make it try and seem like this is all happening on a ball. But this would almost redeem some of the anti-flat earthers because it makes them more canon. This stuff is reading like listening to Ruif or somebody. Do you know what I mean? Put it back up and read it again and tell me that couldn't be the words of Ruif explaining this crap.
You want me to put that thing back up? Hold on a second. Shout out to Lumpy Gas in a Vacuum. QE is ace. Thanks, sir. Thank you so much for helping me learn and the panel. You're very welcome, and thank you for the super chat, Lumpy. You want me to throw that thing back up there?
Put it back up and read it as if it's an anti-flat earther saying it. Right, do it as a numpty clip. Yeah? Just listen to it. But that's written in these things. It's not sensical what's been written. That's why we've taken it apart. But it's there to just make you move past it. I'll just move past it and accept. Yeah.
I can just read it again. I went ahead and put it back up. You should probably see it by now, so I'll just read it, Adam.
Do it in an Australian accent.
No, I'm not doing it in an Australian accent. Where's Mitchell at? Oh, he's sleeping. The next thing we must account for is the fact that the horizon we see is not really 90 degrees from our zenith or from the vertical, unless our eye is right at sea level. At sea level, the horizon is tangent to the sea surface and at right angles to the vertical. But as our height of eye gets higher, the visible horizon dips lower and lower. The higher our eye, the bigger the amount of this dip angle. Figure 13-3 illustrates the situation. Dip is purely a function of our height of eye. So if that height is known, dip can be calculated. A table on the inside front cover of the Naval Almanac provides the amount of dip, yada, yada, yada.
It is describing a ball. It's totally describing a ball. And then it just makes the statement that the geometry of what's going off got no bearing. It's just the height of the eye. It has to involve. You have to make the statement. Dip is a function of height of eye and R. Yeah.
Good point.
For the previous statement to have any significance, because they're clarifying at sea level that at sea level the horizon is tangent to the sea.
Yes, you're correct.
Simple.
He would have to say, just like you said, it's a function of both of those situations for it to not to be a continuity error. But that doesn't relieve him of these statements up here. I mean, those two statements would then work in and of themselves with continuity, but this is batshit insane up here.
They describe the necessity for R above, okay? It describes it. At sea level, the horizon, when your eye is on the surface of the sea, it's a tangent to the sea surface, i.e. it's not touching any other part of the sea surface other than where the eye is, because it's all falling away. That's what that's saying, yeah? As our height of eye gets higher, the visible horizon dips and lower, which it will do on two functions, height of eye, and if the deck isn't flat, also how the deck changes, in this case on a spherical surface, R. But then it makes the statement dip is purely a function of our height of eye, which is incorrect. It's also solely related to R, more important to R than anything over the visual range.
Yeah, in that paradigm, you have to be very careful, Adam, to say that that's incorrect.
I'm totally in their paradigm right now because I'm trying to get my head into what he's actually claiming. Do you know what I mean? In terms of
if you go any deeper into this, we're going to lose you.
Pull me out. Just grab a leg if I go too.
You'll never recover. You'll never be released from the shackles and the chains of this dipshittery. Let me get this off of here because I lost a couple more IQ points. It's pretty stupid. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. We got anybody else pop in here? Moffset, you popped in here. Any questions, comments, concerns with the presentation on dipshit correction?
No, I haven't really been paying attention. I've been busy with other things in the background. But for the most part, when it comes to all this stuff, the globe Earth is a religion. There's no way around it. It takes a lot of faith to believe in such a strange thing. But if anybody has proof or evidence, if you bring it to my attention, and I'll look at it.
Faith? No, it doesn't take faith to believe contradictory horsepucky. Now that's different from faith.
I have brainwashing or something going on. There's
no,
something going on
I think I encapsulated it the other day, if I wasn't mistaken, that if I can stereotype, I can. It's not fallacious in this specific case because I've been around literally thousands of anti-flat earthers that all they are in general, most of them, 99.999% just parrot wiki mindlessly. They don't get that in the wiki paradigm that there's contradictions on top of contradictions within an overall contradiction. So, but they're not aware of that because they're just mindlessly parroting. They have no depth. So all they can scream is the headlines like "Bagak refraction," "Bagak quote mining," "Bagak gravity." But as soon as you get Formica deep into any topic, with any of them, it all collapses. And then the name calling starts. And then it just circles the drain every single time. Right?
Correct.
Yep. That's what
I think the best thing you said earlier is when you look at like a lie and you look at it at surface level, it's bad. But when you look deeper into it, it gets even worse. And that is absolutely true.
Yep. Yep. I always love that because I know if I see a surface lie, it's funhouse time because I'm going into the weeds. It's like a puzzle. right?
Absolutely. It is like a puzzle.
Yeah. So you find all the subcategories, sub-content that connects the lie together, and you're always going to find contradictions in lies. Always. It's fun. It's fun fishing those out. I enjoy it. Always have. And I'll tell you what, with these anti-flat earthers, business is booming. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Unless somebody's got a different topic they want to bring up and we could touch on briefly. I got to get my act together here so I can mute you. Oh, we got another super chat. Hey, Goldie McKernan. That's the first time I've seen that name. Big love from South Florida. Hey, thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate that. I'm glad I bounced back here. My co-pilot's not here, so I had to cover that myself. So, we good? We good for today?
Yeah, apologies on that. Apologies, John. I should have been looking.
You're fine. It's not your responsibility.
I've had a song. Like, as a kid, I used to love Sesame Street. And I'm sure it's Kermit that sings it. Rubber ducky, you're the one. You gave him ballers. Oh, so much fun. Rubber ducky, the sextant's awfully fond of you. Boop, boop, booby-doo.
Boop, boop, be-doo. That's great, Adam. Yeah. Thanks for bringing it back, man. Appreciate that. I'm going to put you on mute now, everyone. Yeah, y'all guys going on mute. That was a pretty fun show. We'll go ahead and wrap it up here. For Saturday, make sure you're here Saturday because we're continuing on with natural science and the scientific method. Don't miss that. It's going to be a good one. And as the distinguished Nathan Oakland just posted, I think there's a flat earth debate going out here in a few minutes, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure you guys check on that. Be good. Hang in there. And if these numpty dipshits bring up dipshit correction, make sure you correct them. Okay? Out.
So you're looking through a sextant at things through the sextant. Which one of these represents that, first of all?
Your sight to the star would be line B.
Line B. Okay.
Yes.
And where's the horizon?
The horizon's not in the diagram.
You know how a sextant works?
Yeah.
What do you look at in a sextant?
Well, you look at a celestial object. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Now, the way that you operate the sextant is you start off by looking up at a celestial object, perhaps the sun. So you're looking up. Then you pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon, you don't need a horizon for a sextant.
You unlock this door with the key of
retardation.
Beyond it is another dimension. You're moving into a land of
bullshittery.
You've just crossed over into
the numpty zone.
You are so dumb. Damn.
Don't need. You sound a little bit quivery in your voice there, Bob. You don't need the horizon.
Of course not.
Say what? Are you high right now?
What the hell did you just say?
You don't need the horizon.
Of course not. Pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon,
you don't need the horizon.
Of course not. Now what'll happen is you'll bring the sun down to the horizon.
You're just being asked, do you know what dip correction is? If you don't, that's fine. Just say no. If you do, just tell us what dip correction is, Bob.
Dip correction is related to the angle formed between your horizontal and the horizon as you look down from an elevated height. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon, You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Your HS is your angle, is your altitude from the celestial object to the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Now what'll happen is you'll bring the sun down to the horizon.
Is that what you're stating the horizon dip correction is?
Well, you look up to the celestial object and down to the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Well, you look up to the celestial object. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. And down to the horizon. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
Everyone stop. Just want to clarify what he said. So you're saying that when you use the sextant, it's literally pointed downwards towards the lower horizon on your sphere. I'm not going to try and get you in a gotcha. I'm just clarifying your position, Bob.
That's absolutely correct, Nathan.
Fine.
You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Now what'll happen is you'll bring the sun down to the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant.
Go ahead, Tenth.
He said he does. He said he doesn't use the horizon. I want him to affirm that.
Yes. Now the way that you operate the sextant is you start off by looking up at a celestial object, perhaps the sun. So you're looking up. Then you pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon, so you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
Oh, son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Your HS is your angle, is your altitude from the celestial object to the horizon. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no. Your HS is your angle, is your altitude from the celestial object to the horizon. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no. Now the way that you operate the sextant is you start off by looking up at a celestial object, perhaps the sun. So you're looking up. Pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon, so you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no. Now what'll happen is you'll bring the sun down to the horizon, so you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no. Until the very lower limb of the sun, the bottom edge of the sun, is just touching the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. And then what you do is you rock it back and forth a little bit to make sure that you are at the bottom of the swing so that the sun is literally just touching the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. And then you read off your angle. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
Turn out the lights.
Double speaking, pretender clown face monkey.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end.
Ballers scattered on dawn's highway bleeding. Fallacies and refravity crowd their fragile eggshell minds.
Well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird's a winner.
You're a clown.